I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to Smack It Raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 wrestling podcast, formerly on Pornhub, Smackin' It Raw. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Mad Ritter, and finally getting the one-on-one time he has been asking for. The deadbeat Poppy, the Sultan of Spitter Swallow, Daddy Delgado, my friend Vince.
It's been a minute since I said this. Daddy's home, man. Daddy's home.
Daddy's home, and you're not Steve this week. It's just me and you, and
just
you and me. There is no friend Steve.
Yeah, I mean, I can have a split personality type thing, why not? Everybody seems to be doing that in wrestling.
I've been watching a lot of split personality, multiple personality disorder movies. As of late. We're doing M. Night Shyamalan tomorrow night for Getting Off. Right. So Split, Unbreakable doesn't have, but Split, Glass. And then I'm also doing like a movie challenge thing where I watch one movie in my digital library every single day and then kind of document it by the end of the week. And one of my favorite movies called Six Souls also deals with that. And that was my movie for today. So
fun.
What's going on, Sports for You Wrestling?
What's going on, man?
Welcome to the show. While we're here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching us. If you're watching us live, whether it is over at twitch.tv/creationworld, where it is, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, then you have Prime Gaming. If you have Prime Gaming and an Amazon Prime subscription, you link that with your Twitch account, and you get a free sub every single month. That's right. Scissor that shit. That allows you to support your favorite content creator at no extra cost to you because you're already paying for this Prime subscription. So whether it is us, Katie, who is doing a Friendsgiving and will not be joining us this week, our boy Will Gray and everyone over at Rivet City Radio, or any of your favorite Twitch streamers, you guys can show them a little support. Again, no extra cost to you by tossing them that free sub every month. It's not hard to do, and we appreciate it. It helps us keep going. So please do that if you have the opportunity or chance, or you can be watching us live at youtube.com/creationworld, where it is free to like, to subscribe, to comment. Vince, what does that do?
It helps boost the algorithm and help find new listeners.
It's just not as smooth when you do it, but you are correct. And why is that important, Vince?
Because you're a whore, Matthew.
See, now there we go. That's what I'm looking for. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. I am a whore for your likes, for your comments, for your views, for your attention. That's why we're here. That's why we do this. That's why I'm on here every week talking to you about wrestling and the things that we love about wrestling and some of the things we don't. So tell friends, family, co-workers, everyone about the Smackin' It Raw podcast. Get them on the bandwagon. Have them come watch us. Have them like, have them comment, have them subscribe. Boost that algorithm so that I can get shared around like the whore that I am by as many people as possible. We're on new platforms now. We're actually utilizing Threads and Blue Sky. I am completely done with X. I've deleted the app. I have logged out of my accounts. I have not deleted them yet, but I have logged out and deleted the app, so I'm not going in there anymore. But you can catch us on Blue Sky. You can catch us over on Threads. I'm posting more on Instagram as well because it's connected to Threads, so that kind of works out well for me. Find us over there and restart the community that we kind of built over on Twitter, on X. Help us meet new cool people. I'm trying to expand my horror horizons over there as well for Getting Off. So again, I'm just whoring myself out, making dates and commitments and working my way around the horror and wrestling territories. So let's do this. Share me around and flick that bean, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that notification bell. Get notified every time we go live, whether it's every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, not 2 Thursdays from now. I think it's 2 Thursdays. Yeah, 2 weeks. We're not doing it on Thanksgiving. We're taking Thanksgiving off. But
Yeah, makes
other
sense.
than that, every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 Eastern, or could be this show that you're watching, Smackin It Raw, live every Saturday, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing it Thanksgiving weekend. We'll still be here, so come watch and look at me. And then every other Sunday, except for recently, where our schedule's been a little funny, but well, actually, it's every other Friday, but now it's Sundays. Listen, it's a thing. Getting off just happens when it happens now, all right? Like, sometimes it's a Friday, sometimes it's Sunday. You have to be notified. You have to flick your bean and get notified so you know when getting off is happening. But tomorrow night, same time, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, we are talking M. Night Shyamalan. It is me. Katie is back from Friendsgiving. We have Reek from the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast, and our boy, the Will Great, and Vince's new best friend that he replaced me with just from the Get Show Podcast. Of us. We'll be talking.
Ensemble. That's great. That's great. So what you're telling me is that you don't know when you're getting off, except it happens every 2 weeks. You just don't know what day.
Listen, I don't know when I'm getting off. When I'm getting off is when I'm getting off.
Fair enough.
So, all right. With all of that said, it's time for news and rumors, which is Katie's thing. She's not here, but she did send me a few things.
Okay.
Apparently there wasn't a whole lot. So first and foremost, Dragon Ball Lee collected all 7 Dragon Balls, made his wish, Speed Champion.
Love it.
Shout out to Dragon Ball Lee.
Let's go.
Yeah, right. WWE has announced that they will be pre-taping multiple episodes coming up. SmackDown on November 29th will be taped on November 22nd show. The December 20th show will be taped on the December 13th show. And then Raw's December 23rd episode will be taped on December 18th. So basically, kind of around, they're giving everyone like 2 weeks off for Christmas, it seems like.
Yeah.
For at least Raw. And then Thanksgiving, same thing. The day after Thanksgiving, they're giving everyone that week off by pre-taping the show so that they can spend time with their families. So, like, shout out to WWE for doing that, because for the longest time, WWE specifically, but wrestling in general, has been a 365-day-a-year, mostly live program. Like, you might get a tribute to the troops or something to, like, give them time to spend with their families, to have certain days off. But for the most part, we're coming to you live every week on holidays, missing families and everything. And now we're taping shit. We're like, hey, go be with your families, go have time. And that's good for morale. It's good for the wrestlers. That's good for everybody.
I will say, though, if you're attending these double taped shows, don't be a fucking dick and post the spoilers. Like, keep it to yourself. Shout out to Katie, because she spoke the gospel of this on She Elite Showcase 2 days ago. And it's like, I've went to it 2 years. I think it was 2 years ago. I went to SmackDown, and then they pre-recorded the Christmas episode. I didn't tell you guys what happened. I just said, I'm like, if you guys want to know what matches are on the card, let me know, and I will DM you personally, and I won't spoil the results. But it's cool. The only thing is weird because they pre-recorded next week's Raw this week, but then they're going to be live on the week of Thanksgiving. Makes sense for SmackDown, but for Raw, it's kind of weird. Why not record Raw next week for the week of Thanksgiving?
I don't know what they had going on this week that they double recorded Raw. But to speak to Vince's point, listen, if you're at the live shows, or if you're if you're an avid dirt sheet reader, right, and you go up and you want to know what happened and you want the spoilers, that's cool. But leave that to them. Let people go seek that stuff out. Do not post spoilers all over your social media to ruin it for. That's the one thing that I'm really excited about not being on Twitter for anymore, is like the chances of getting shit spoiled for me now, hopefully, is reduced. Blue Sky and Threads, please don't fuck me over. Because I'm not trying to find out early.
TikTok is what spoiled me. So Twitter, I'm playing off.
I don't get a whole lot of wrestling in my TikTok, bro.
It's the algorithm. It's mostly horror and porn that you got
like
on your
the
TikTok.
it's more so the weird shit that I get from my wife and Will, because and Allison. Those three are the ones that send me the most stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm watching those videos, liking those videos, and that does it. But the only wrestling stuff I really get is people that I follow when I go and I watch like my followers video, or the videos I'm following, the creators I'm following. So I'll see stuff there, and then if they start saying anything, I can just swipe up, you know. But
Mm.
once you start reading, I'm like, I don't realize it doesn't register in my head that I'm reading it until I've already read it. So
got it. Makes sense. Well, no.
Anything else that you can think of that happened news and rumors wise before we move on?
No, not that I had. I asked last week if Katie was going to cover this fully, and she said
did.
yes. You said yes, so I did no homework whatsoever. So no,
I know, just sometimes shit pops up. She sent them to me last night, and normally,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. But I was just curious if anything particular that maybe didn't interest her, or, you know, you popped up. I got off Twitter, so again, like I'm not
So
seeing
it may not
a
be
whole lot.
news, but apparently Jordan Grace was thirsting over Rhea Ripley's ass and got caught.
Who's not?
But that's about it. That's about the only thing that you might have missed on Twitter.
Did you watch the bullshit last night?
No. I think I was on Netflix, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just tune into it. And I clicked, and the fight hadn't started yet, and it was already after 10 o'clock. It was almost 11. I'm like, when is this fight gonna happen? So then I turned it off, and I started watching Rick and Morty instead. So
I knew it was going to be so I'm mad. I could have watched all of SmackDown and then just tuned in for the fight that I wanted to see. And honestly, after seeing the fight, I should have just not tuned in at all. But I'm not a big boxing guy. So I watched the entire card. I knew it was going to be some fuck shit from the go, because the very first fight, we had a professional fighter versus a Brazilian YouTube star who is getting into fighting. He's not a professional fighter, but he's been doing some boxing matches. It's basically Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, the undercard. You know, you got an influencer versus an actual boxer. And the fact that this boxer didn't kill this dude, and I'm watching it, and again, like, I'm not versed in boxing, but I'm watching it, I'm like, these punches look soft as shit.
Yeah.
Like, this looks weak as fuck on both ends. Like, this professional boxer does not look like he's rocking this dude like I'd expect him to rock this dude.
Which fight, if you did see it, was the one where the dude thrusted on the other dude in the corner?
That fight, that first fight.
Was
the first fight.
The professional boxer was the one thrusting on the YouTuber?
Yes.
Oh.
Goya,
Well,
I believe
at least that happened. At least that's probably the best thing that happened on the entire program, I guess.
The other two fights were good. You had two of your people, two Mexican Americans, battling it out for a title fight. That fight was actually really good. They killed it. The women's fight was good. The decision was bullshit. Plain and simple. The wrong person was awarded the win. And everyone agreed with that. It was really cool hearing Morrow do commentary again.
Oh, Morrow was on there.
Morrow was the commentator. So it was Morrow, it was Rosie Perez, and then they had different commentators for the a third man on the booth. But Roy Jones Jr. was down there for at least the Tyson Paul fight.
Interesting.
That actually got kind of annoying, because during the Tyson Paul fight, Roy Jones Jr. and Morrow were just arguing over whether or not Mike Tyson had a problem with his mouthpiece, or if he bites his glove in his fights for like the majority of the match. Roy wouldn't let it go, and Morrow's like, I'm not trying to argue with you here. I'm just saying I've watched his entire career and I've seen him bite down on his glove a lot. Roy's like, no, you're wrong. His mouthpiece is fucked up. But so here's what I saw, and again, not a boxing fan, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But what I saw was Mike Tyson come out those first two rounds and look like the guy that I wanted him to look like, but clearly holding back a little bit. And I'm pretty sure he rocked Jake Paul a few times where Jake Paul, it looked like Mike Tyson was holding him up. Like Jake Paul went to tie up, and it looked like Mike Tyson was pulling him up. After that, Mike Tyson stopped throwing punches, or at least stopped landing punches for the next, I believe it was 8 rounds. So for the next 5 or 6 rounds. And Jake Paul was just teeing off on Mike Tyson, building up the punch count that he landed so that he could be declared the winner. And they said that Tyson's contract was structured so the longer the fight went, the more money he made. I'm sure he was paid off to lose. I felt like Mike could have gone in there and absolutely wrecked Jake Paul and opted not to, and I got worked. I did. And I should have known better. I really should have. From the first fight, I should have been like, this is what's going to happen. But I wanted to have hope. I wanted to see Jake Paul get his fucking head knocked off. And it didn't happen.
They got you. They got you. They got exactly what they wanted to do, is get people to watch and hope. But I mean, I didn't even watch the Mayweather Logan Paul one. And after I saw that, I'm like, it's going to be more or less the same, if not worse. So...
And the commentary was trying to play it up like, oh, Mike's 58 years old and his legs don't look... I'm like, dude, I watched this dude train, and the guy that I watched training is not the guy that stepped into the ring, at least not for rounds 3 through 8.
Yeah, exactly. His attires, though, were something else.
Mike's... Oh, did you see his ass?
Yeah.
You saw Tyson Cake?
I saw Tyson Cake. I saw it on Twitter. I didn't see it on the fight because, like I said, I only tuned in for like 5 seconds and tuned back out. I wasn't going to stick around for the whole thing, but hey, at least we got something out of that Tyson Cake.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I felt like I wasted my time. I feel like I got worked. It is what it is. I made my decisions, and Netflix started fucking up pretty bad during the women's bout. So at that point, I just started watching Raw or SmackDown and tried to watch have the fight going on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
It cleared up because it even started fucking up on my phone, but it started clearing up around the time, at least for me to watch on my phone, for the Tyson Paul fight. So I got to watch the whole thing. I kind of wish I hadn't. I should have just stuck to SmackDown, but
it was a great episode.
It is, and we're gonna get there, but we're not there yet. Monday Night Raw, Vince.
Yes.
Gunther lost to Cody and became bitch ass Gunther. Undertaker comes out, punks out bitch ass Gunther so bad. Kaiser's like, hey, calm down. Why are you talking to my guy like this?
Exactly.
And bitch ass Gunther's like, hey, no, let him talk his shit. I'm like, why? He's defending you. Why are you arguing with your boy who's backing you up? But neither here nor there. He didn't listen. Bisexual Taker put it in his mouth, sent them both running. And then we had Priest versus Kaiser. Priest rolled Kaiser in the match, got the win. Gunther, Priest, Kaiser, Priest, spit or swallow.
I'm gonna gargle. I'm gonna sit on the fence on this one just a little bit because I do like this aggressive Damian Priest, but I don't like this beta male Gunther that we've gotten since Crown Jewel. Like, he's trying to be humble, but he's still doing some heelish things. So I'm not sure. Like, there's like some tension between him and Kaiser Roll. So I'm just like, what's going on here? What's the direction you're going with Gunther? I don't know. Like, the entire time while I was watching it, I'm like, he's giving Cuck energy, and I wish that I can come up with a pun with his name and Cuck. So, like, I was trying to work on that, but I'm a gargler for right now. Maybe they can turn it around, but the match is going to be fire. It's going to be okay. But this week, I wasn't really feeling it. I don't know about you.
I'm on the fence. So, I don't know if we're working towards turning Gunther babyface. And if we are, here's what I need you to do. I need you to right all the wrongs in what Imperium appears to be.
Yes.
I'm going to jump ahead a little bit to the fact that Paul Heyman's not answering people's phone calls anymore. You want to fix Imperium? Make Paul Heyman Gunther's advocate, his wise man, his whatever. Repair that relationship.
Okay.
Let Paul be Gunther's back, or his manager, is whatever you want to call it, whatever it's going to be this time. Yeah. Well, he was the advocate for Brock. He was the wise man for fucking Roman. So he's going to be whatever he considers himself for Gunther. Let him be that. Then we repair that weird pseudo. This kind of is drawing similarities to World War II issues.
Yeah.
Now they're together, and it's not a bad thing.
Is it because Paul Heyman's a Jew and you want him to like advocate for him in this?
I don't want him to. I'm just saying, if you want to fix those issues, you have a Jew be his advocate as a Jew.
I mean, you know what? I mean,
you turn him babyface,
okay,
and you let him run with the best mouth in the business, who happens to be a Jew.
Paul Heyman, best mouth in business.
Paul Heyman, best mouth in the business, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad concept. It's not a bad idea to pitch out there. My whole issue is that with Paul Heyman, he works best as a heel manager, advocate, wise man, what have you. And I don't know. It just like you would have to like really pitch me on it, like being making sense on TV before you actually do it. Because I've never seen them associate with each other. Like they have to plant the seeds, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
For me to
I
like,
hear you. I hear you on that.
you can't just do a cold turkey and just be like, here's your new advocate. You're a babyface now, and this is why.
I'm divided on how we're presenting Gunther right now, though. So there's that.
Yeah,
like no issues with Priest, other than because of who Gunther is going into this. I don't really have a lot of interest in the whole thing.
Well, Priest is just Priest. He's just Priest.
Am I crazy, Vince?
Depends on the subject.
Did they not say that this was supposed to be the 30th anniversary of the New Day show? Wasn't that supposed to be Monday? Or not 30th anniversary, but whatever. However,
10-year anniversary.
10-year. Yeah,
of the New Day. I don't remember them saying specifically it was going to be this Monday, unless they messed up and it was supposed to be for next week Monday, which technically was this recorded this past Monday, which technically
I swear they said it was this week. So I'm sitting here watching this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Waiting for the celebration. And I'm like, okay. So Kofi tries to apologize to R-Truth for leaving him to get gangbanged. Woods is like, I don't really care that he got gangbanged. Like, that's not our business. He's not us. Why do you give a fuck? And Kofi, he's more mad at Kofi for going behind his back. Mm-hmm. They're arguing some more. Peter Dune shows up. He's mad the Truth keeps dead naming him and calling him Butch.
Oh, man.
That leads to Kofi barging in defense of Truth again. And Woods is like, listen, if you're going to pick fights, that's on you. Have fun, bro. Like, I'll be there, but, like, you're doing this to yourself. Like, is what it is. Kofi and Peter have a match. New Day start arguing. Dunn gets it back up. He ends up beating Kofi. Kofi's pissed off. He's blaming Woods. Woods is blaming Kofi for taking his eye off the ball because they're arguing. And things are not looking good going into whenever the 10-year anniversary is.
It's got to be this month. I'll look up the exact date when you recap the next thing. But for me specifically, I'm gonna swallow the story because I like what they're doing. Whether they build to an actual split or the return of Big E or maybe both or whatever the story end game is, cool. But I'm gonna spit Xavier Woods because everybody was saying that he was in the right. He was in the right. At this point, he's just not only a bad friend, but he's a bad person. Xavier Woods was brought in essentially within the continuity of WWE by R-Truth. Kofi and Woods have always been like, hey, let's help out our people and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. Now he's very selfish. Now he's like, let's just worry about us. Let's worry about like our business. Don't worry about anything else. Okay, cool. Then you're talking about how like, oh, you want to have a match? Fine, that's your business. Like you do you, but that's not my problem. Okay, then why are you at ringside? Okay, you're at ringside now. Woods is being told by Kofi Kingston, hey, don't interfere. I don't want you to get involved in the match. I want to do this on my own. What does he do? He gets himself involved in the match. And that's where they start arguing. And then he wants to blame it on Kofi getting the eye off the ball. 2 weeks ago, he got the eye off the ball when he went to go ahead and attack Rey Mysterio instead of hitting the Midnight Hour. So Xavier Woods just, I don't know, like, what's the word? Like, he's being a dude.
He vinced it up.
Which one?
You.
Me?
Oh. Pot, meat, kettle. So 2 years ago, we did a year-long, almost every episode we had a guest and a new guest. And we were and by the end of that year, Vince had told me, very similar to Xavier Woods, I feel like our chemistry is lost, and we need to stop worrying about other people and doing other shit, and we need to just focus on us. And
Okay.
bring less people in, do less collaborations, and get back to getting our chemistry together. Very much like what Xavier Woods is saying here. We're losing all the time because you're too worried about everyone else's shit and not getting our shit back on track. So let's work on our shit. And Kofi refuses to do so. Kofi keeps doing whatever the fuck Kofi wants to do.
Kofi's doing the right thing. Someone's getting gangbanged without their consent.
So if I just continue to keep doing collabs despite your request to get I would have been doing the right thing because...
Look, I was not at the level that Xavier Woods was. No, I'm saying this.
I'm actually pretty sure that there were people that we collaborated with that you're like, no, let's hold off on that for a little while. Let's just do a few episodes, just us first, that wanted to do them. Like, you put them on the back burner and told them, we'll wait like a month or two before we start doing collabs. We need to just do us. So I feel this is very much the same situation.
Look, man, I'm not going to sit here argue with your logic and your analogy because your math is mathing. Math's math is mathing. But I will say within the confines of the story itself, Woods being a bit of a dick of a person, of a human being in general, and I ain't fucking with it. And I think he's at the wrong here. And it should be Kofi. If someone turns on someone, it should be Kofi turning on Woods at this point. Because he's tired of Woods' insecurity. It's all stemming from his insecurity. That's what it is.
Was it stemming from your insecurity, Vince?
100% not the case. Not the same case.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on. They fired Tegan Knox, which means Dakota Kai could come back. And she did. It's a 6-woman swingers party. Damage Control defeats the Pussy Fur Collectors. They continue to not collect wins or pussy fur as we go forward.
I don't think Tegan Knox's release had any correlation to do with Dakota Kai's return to television. I give credit to Katie.
It's just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence. But mostly Katie manifested it by doing her blog about women who should contend for the U.S. title. And she put Dakota in there. She manifested it. And literally over the weekend on Monday, she posted that. It was like Saturday maybe? By Monday, boom, Dakota's back. So I think that's more Katie's manifesting than Tegan Knox's firing, having any collateral there. But that's a swallow for me, for sure. Love to see Damage Control getting closer to full. What's the word I'm looking for? Being fully together. Almost everyone there. We're just missing Asuka.
Double stuff. Yeah.
Sure.
Complete.
Fully complete. Thank you. Yeah. You complete me, man. Thank you. You complete my senses. But yeah, the Pussy Fur Collectors, I'm kind of over them. Like, they had their little, debut run.
They never had anything. They had an opportunity. Yeah. And from the beginning, they've been taking L's.
Yeah, that's true. At this point, Zoe Stark was better off when she was by herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, swallowing Damage Control, being back almost fully complete.
All right,
3/4 of the way there.
Seth Rollins and Thick Boy Taz keep handing each other lines, but they can't keep their hands to themselves. Seth wants one more go round, and Adam Pearce agrees because he's sick of their shit. Also, Sammy goes to Seth and he's like, hey, I know that you and Roman have this thing, and I know, you showed up for Cody to beat Roman, but I have decided within, 5 seconds that I was just going to forgive Roman for all of the terrible, mean, hateful stuff he did to me, and maybe you should too. And you should be the 5th man on our War Games team. And Seth's like, yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. No,
that's not going to stand once we get to SmackDown, but it was nice in the moment.
Mm-hmm. We had more Seth stuff, though.
Did I put it farther down?
Maybe, because it did happen further on in the show. It was after the whole like tussle between Thick Boy Taz and Seth Rollins.
What else happened?
He was getting ready to leave. He was interviewed by Kathy Kelly, and then Solo and Jacob Fatu were standing in the front, like outside of the parking lot. They were trying to recruit him to be part of their War Games team. And they were saying it's like, hey, you know what? You don't fuck with Roman. I don't fuck with Roman. Let's not fuck with Roman together and fuck him up. And then Seth was saying stuff along the lines of, Sammy tried to recruit me, but what I didn't tell Sammy is that I would never team up with Roman ever again. If I was ever in the ring with Roman again, it'd be just to stomp his face in. And Solo was confident, thinking that he was going to get it. But Seth was like, but what I'm not going to do is team up with Roman Reigns wannabe. Jacob looked like he was about to attack Seth. Solo stops him. He starts laughing. And he leaves. So Seth got recruited by both sides.
I feel like everyone's getting recruited by both sides.
Almost everyone. I don't think LA. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it when we get to SmackDown.
Yeah, we haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Usos need that fifth for the Samoan Fuck Fest at Survivor Series. Jimmy wants to recruit Braun Breaker. That doesn't pan out.
No, it doesn't pay off at all.
Yeah, no, he just kind of mentions it, and then we don't see shit. I actually, so I did have it here. So Sammy tries Seth, but he wants Thick Boy Taz. He doesn't want Roman. And then Solo and friends try the same shit with Seth, and he says he doesn't buy value brand products. Is how I read it.
Great value brand. Got it.
Yeah. But yeah. Survivor Series recruiting, the continuation of Thick Boy Taz and Seth Rollins. Swallow, spit?
I'm going to swallow what I'm seeing so far. But I will spit the lack of logic behind it, because I was saying that the Circle of Debate crew, guys, it was like Solo's issuing this challenge for War Games, but you don't have a complete team. Why the fuck are you issuing this challenge if you don't have a complete team? And also, too, we've had cases where War Games was 4v4. Heck, last year the women was 4v4 while the men was 5v5. Why can't you just do 4v4? Like, I feel like you rushed a lot of bloodline story developments just to go ahead and get to we got to recruit people to War Games part of the story.
I mean, the story's been going on for like 7 years now, so I don't know if rushed is the right word, but
I
get what you mean.
The healing and the mending and the forgiving parts of the story for the OG bloodline, that's what I think was sped up a little bit. But you know what? Now that I'm talking myself into it, I'm gonna gargle it. There's a lot of stuff that I wish was done and executed differently, but at the end of the day, it's fine. It's what it is.
Karrion Kross bitch smacks the Miz around, even makes him bleed from the eye, telling him to give up the Wyatt 6 location. And he's like, no, I'm good, because he's hurt, because the Wyatt 6 basically said Karrion, like the rest of us, the Wyatt 6 said Karrion Kross is not a main character. The Miz is more of a main character than him, and that hurt his pride. This is all a trap, though. The Wyatt 6 show up, get jumped by the Miz and the Final Testament. I don't mind seeing the Wyatt 6 get outsmarted, especially because no matter how do I put this? With Bray, it was different because Bray's character was meant to redeem all of the times that he got beaten and he shouldn't have when he was the Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an issue watching the Fiend take L's when he should be taking W's.
Right.
The Wyatt 6 is an homage to what Bray was trying to do when he came back, or a continuation of what Bray was trying to do when he came back. But they are not Bray. They are not in redemption of Bray or themselves or anything like that.
Yeah.
Specifically in the people that they're picking and the feuds that they're going after. So it doesn't bother me, especially since they've kind of shed the personas and revealed themselves to be themselves, to see them take an ass whooping here or there. Even with Bo laughing after getting his ass whooped?
You're very generous about it. I'm very much more on the spit side of things. And it's mostly just because of the way everybody just got their ass whooped, and that's fine. But it's one thing to just get your ass whooped, and like I guess they were trying to do that with the Bo Dallas laugh, and trying to like make it seem like Aaron Cross was kind of shook by the fact that he was laughing after the beatdown. But if that's what you were gonna do, just don't do it under the Uncle Howdy gimmick. Do it with the regular Bo Dallas, because that's what happened with, if you remember, at the beginning of American Made when they were becoming a team. The three of them beat up Bo Dallas regular, and then he turned into Uncle Howdy, and then boom, like that's what they should have done. And it didn't hit. I thought it made him look kind of weak, me personally. And as a character, as a design, out of the five of them, Bo Dallas right now feels like the weakest link in terms of like presentation from the Wyatt Six. Because I think the coolest one, hands down, is Dexter Loomis. Eric Rowan, it's still just Eric Rowan. Nikki Cross, it's just crazy. Heck, even Joe Gacy, who we didn't like in NXT, I kind of like this version of Joe Gacy. But it's the Bo Dallas character when he's Uncle Howdy that I don't care about. I like the Bo Dallas, the person that's recruiting, that's hurt, that's a brother, that's mourning. But maybe it's the gear. I don't know. He just kind of doesn't look.
I don't like the mask. I don't like the hair, the mask.
The gear. The only thing cool about him was the glove on the right hand, and that's Brace stuff. Yeah. I don't know. It's getting a spit for me for sure. I didn't like it. Maybe they can redeem it next week.
Okay. Spanish Rachel and Liv take on the tag champs. Champs retain, but Nia shows up, fucks everybody up. Even Naomi, who stopped in for a little bit. Io shows up, takes out Nia and Barbie. Nia gets double stuffed by the champs.
Fun.
Titles retained.
Yeah. It's an easy swallow. Like not a lot happened. Obviously, this is looking like it's a setup for a women's War Games match, which I'm not liking the teams that are being set up because you're doing SmackDown and Raw women on both sides. Wyatt Six versus Final Testament and War Games. I wish it'd be fun. I think it'd be easier to do that versus Bloodline. But this is what it is. I want to be in the middle part of an Eiffel Tower between you two. Oh, I love you too.
Are you familiar with the Eiffel Tower?
No.
You're not?
I think I am. I'm not sure. I don't think this is the time to...
No, this is the time and the show, Vince. What do you think an Eiffel Tower is?
A dude taking back shots, but also like giving head to another guy.
Okay, yes, but you're missing one key part of that.
What?
So if Kyle's in the middle, one of us is in the front, one of us is in the back, but the two of us have to be facing each other and hold hands like this. So like the Eiffel Tower.
What? What kind?
Yeah.
Listen,
you know what the Eiffel Tower looks like, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we gotta make the Eiffel Tower.
We gotta hold hands. So we gotta hold hands while we're doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Up in the air, though.
Creativity at its finest. I'll say that. But yeah, swallow and going back to the wrestling, I'm gonna swallow the actual match itself because women main eventing, But
that
yeah, that was good shit. I will say I'm not liking the teams that are being formed for War Games based on what I saw on Raw. Because why is EO all of a sudden now a babyface just because Dakota Kai is back? And then Bianca can't trust Bayley still, even though she's proven to be a babyface for months. But all of a sudden, she trusts Io Sky, who she's been feuding with for the better part of 2 years. And it's only been 2 weeks since she's been a babyface. Maybe even one, if you count this week.
I feel like you guys are being liberal with trusting. It's not like they teamed up and she tagged her in and they're best friends and they're hanging out and shit. Like,
I just want consistency. I just want her to be skeptical about Io the way she is about Bayley. That's all. Because if not, then that's just like a continuity error right there.
Okay.
In my opinion.
NXT. Oh wait, sorry. Was there anything from Raw that wasn't good enough for Ritter that you want to talk about? What's up, my Wrong Jutsu?
Sup. Yeah. I'm gonna swallow Sheamus getting an IC title match next week against Braun Breaker. My man deserves it. I don't think he's gonna win. I don't know the results. Obviously, it was pre-taped, but I think they're slowly teasing us into eventually getting to that moment where Sheamus does get the title at some point down the line. And then also, you know what? I'm gonna swallow the little Judgment Day interaction, mostly just because kind of Dom just kind of stood up to Finn and was like, you know what?
What's his name?
Dom. I'm not calling him unless you're calling him that. But he stepped up to Finn.
Who?
Hey, Freddie Guerrero stepped up.
Oh, Freddie Guerrero was there. Okay.
Yeah. He stepped up to Finn and was like, "Hey, man, you know, I didn't get because he was getting called out by Finn, saying it's like you didn't get the job done, you know, because of you, Damian Priest is 1-1 away from being the world champion again." I was like, "Well, that's not my fault." Bronson Reed, Thick Boy Taz showed up and was attacking everybody, and nobody was there to help me out, and I did what I could. And then he's like, "You know what? I've done more to get closer to that world title than you've done in a long time." And they started getting close to each other. It looks like they're about to fight. Liv goes and breaks it up. Spanish Rachel helps out as well. Sets up a tag match for next week against the War Raiders. Yeah, right. The War Raiders next week between he and Carlito. So I'm gonna swallow just because I kind of like Dom, like having a little bit more confidence in himself and stepping up to Finn, and Finn's being a little bitch.
Well, I was on his side. How small his penis was last week, he had to do something.
Say what?
So after everyone talked about how small his penis was compared to everyone else in the Fatal 4-Way last week, he had to do something.
Hey, look, he's a grower, not a shower. We talked about it last week.
That's not what that is, Vince.
Well, he was growing on me while he was talking to Finn.
Oh, he was growing on you, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
On your leg?
Not
on the side of your mouth?
Anyways, you were saying NXT?
NXT. Julia and Stephanie go 2-on-2 with Metaphor after Stephanie twerked on Miss Jackson's neck. They go on to get the win. We are informed that next week, Julia and Stephanie will lock thighs in an Iron Survivor qualifier.
I don't think they're going to be facing each other. They're both going to be in Iron Survivor qualifying matches and might see each other in the Iron Survivor match if they both win their qualifiers.
Okay. I thought they said that they stepped up to each other, so I thought they were facing each other. Like they got
because I think Julia or Stephanie. No, it was Stephanie that was saying, "Well, I'll see you at Deadline." So it was kind of like we're gonna win our matches and we'll see each other at Deadline. But swallow the match. Women tag teaming to start off the show. Fantastic match. I love the Meta Girls so much. They've grown on me so much.
Lash has been great
from the jump, but them as a tag team, they've been really gelling, and I love them. Need them on main roster already, permanently.
I agree.
Yeah, well, that's a swallow for sure.
Chicago's own Cora Jade gets her soul and the win snatched from her by Sol Ruka, and my Iron Survivor bracket is already busted.
We talked about it last week, and Katie mentioned it on She Elite Showcase. Nobody thought about Sol Ruka being in the mix for Iron Survivor, but it makes all the sense in the world for Sol Ruka to be in there. And like you said, I thought it was funny how Cora Jade did her little pre-match interview saying that Sol Ruka is not going to be able to snatch her soul, and that's exactly how the match ends. So I thought it was hilarious. So I'm gonna swallow it. I'm turning the corner at Sol Ruka. I'm seeing the light.
I don't know why you were ever not on.
I was not
right
against. I was not against Sol Ruka. I just didn't get the hype, but that was mostly just because I wasn't watching her matches. So that's on me. Once I started seeing the light, so to speak, then I started to get the bigger picture. But it was more because it wasn't me trying to be negative against her. It was just me like, oh, I just don't really care about her, so I wasn't watching her stuff. But I don't know. Maybe it's the tan. I think she's more tan now. Maybe it's the gears.
How do you care about somebody if you don't watch what they're doing?
I don't know. I think it was because she showed up and like her initial gimmick in 2.0 was Surfer Chick, which is cool. It's fine, but I didn't really see anything beyond that. I can't remember what feud she got into where I started caring. Oh, you know what? It was the ladder match that they were doing for the North American Women's Championship, where I had to sit down and watch Soruka wrestle because I cared about the match, and I saw her perform, and I was like, okay, I see what I've been missing this whole time. But then again, I am a picky eater, and I don't try a lot of new things, so it's just probably a thing where I didn't want to try a new thing until I finally did, and I see the light.
Dominic Mysterio doesn't like ketchup.
That's fine. Chicagoans don't put ketchup on their hot dogs anyway.
But that doesn't mean we like. I put it on my burgers and my French fries, and occasionally eat chicken nuggets with them, or I used to when I was a kid. Like,
yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't like ranch.
He likes ranch. That's the thing, because they were asking him, why are your nuggets always dry as fuck, bro? And he goes, I don't know. I don't like ketchup. I like ranch though. I don't know. They just are. I just like eating it dry.
Listen, he likes to raw dog it. I can't hate him for that.
Speaking of raw dogging it, Wesley and Cedric test each other's stamina. Wesley outlasts Cedric to qualify for the Iron Survivor. Javon Evans also puts Lexus King on his back for a 3 and advances. And Trouble in Tag Paradise as Frazier takes his eye off my balls for an Iron Survivor qualifier, and Axiom is pissed. OTM feels disrespected. And the family, well, they said fuck OTM and just kind of showed up and said, hey, tag titles. We're here too.
That's a lot. So let me go one by one.
Well, it's all Iron Survivor stuff.
So I'm gonna swallow the Iron Survivor qualifying matches and the people that won it, because Javon Evans, Wesley make perfect sense to be in that Iron Survivor challenge.
They're gonna look really cool when they get thrown around by Obafemi.
Listen, I want to see that. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. That's what they're for. They're in the Jeff Hardy spot, just in there to like just toss their bodies around and just do flippy shit. Going into the tag team stuff, I wasn't really a fan of what they were doing with the tag team division stuff, especially that little interview meeting that Ava was doing, because you sat all the tag teams there, and aside from the D'Angelo family and to like a lesser extent OTM, I didn't really care about anyone there. Like the only ones I cared about was the D'Angelo family. Just put the tag titles on them, and then I like OTM, but you haven't given me enough for me to like, who are these guys? Why should I care about them? They're really cool
Those are some big motherfuckers who should be dominating.
Yes, exactly. And when they showed up, when they were with Scripps, they were more of a focal point. And then now Jada Parker is the star of their 3-person unit. They should give me Jada Parker vibes. I should care about them like I care about Miss Parker.
You know who else had that issue?
Who?
Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake, when they showed up with Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss became the star.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
What was the name of their tag team?
They were just Blake and Murphy.
Yeah, that's it. That might have been part of the problem.
Yeah. They used to do a lot of headbanging too, so
they were a BM.
Yeah.
Sean Spears finally gets a moment with the Don after trying for weeks and weeks and being ignored for more important people like Nunzio. And he says he's starving, and the only thing in all of NXT that can cure his hunger is the mid-card title. Not the NXT championship, not the main title. The North American title.
Not only that, he doesn't actually want to do the eating. He wants to watch other people eat. So he's a cuck for the North American title.
Who was his driver?
I don't know. I was going to ask you. Katie's usually the one that knows these answers.
God damn it, Katie, where are you? I have no idea who his driver was.
Maybe a Google search can help.
Are we swallowing Cuck Spears? North American title story.
I'm gonna spit it just because unless you're doing Sean Spears versus Tony D'Angelo, like I don't really give a fuck about B Square's son versus the Don. I think that's beneath the Don. I think the Don could be doing other things. And there's a reason why they were ignoring him for like 2-3 weeks straight. Because if this is all they're gonna give him, that's ass.
That is ass. Are you still looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up, but I don't got anything.
All right. Well, while you're looking, Trick wants to give Andre Chase a title shot, and that made Ridge Holland feel some type of way after he hospitalized Andre and pinned Trick, which, you know what? I don't like him, but fair. Like, it's fuck Ridge Holland, but that is a fair point. I pinned the champion, and I hospitalized the guy you want to give a title shot to. Why am I not getting a title shot? Trick's like, listen, if you guys, I want to give Andre a title shot. Ridge thinks he deserves a title shot. You two fight it out and figure out who should win it. And Ridge says, cool, but when I win, Andre Chase loses everything. Chase U, the kids, all of it gone.
Yeah. I kind of like it. Go ahead.
Echo for some reason. I can hear myself echoing. Yeah.
You can still hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Well, you're working on that. Andre Chase, degenerate gambler, takes the gamble. Says, yeah, okay. And nobody, not Thea, not Duke, not the other kid that Thea had a crush on, but we just kind of forgot about that for a little while. Yeah, that other kid, Ozzy Osbourne's son. None of them seem to believe in Andre Chase.
No. I mean, he gambled away the university's like funding already. So, I mean, I like how it's a callback to that. I don't know how you personally felt about it, but I kind of liked it. Chase U's kind of like that little engine that you always kind of root for, that you know he's not going to actually win the big one, but it's fun to see him make that climb. You know,
I said that about Mick Foley too.
Fair enough, but I liked it. The stipulation makes me feel like this might be the end of Chase U, because I don't really see Andre Chase getting a singles match at Deadline against Trick Williams in a singles capacity. Now, if he were to win that match, maybe they do a situation where Ridge Holland somehow weasels his way into it and makes it a triple threat. But right now, it doesn't look really good for Andre Chase or Chase U. So, I love me Andre Chase. He's gonna give him
time to kill Chase U. It really
is.
Are
you sure?
Yeah, I think Chase U's run its course, and everyone would be better without it. It's not like we've graduated people from Chase U and then brought in new people for him to teach. Like, this current iteration of Chase U has run its course, and there's nothing left. There's nothing left in that gas tank.
Fair enough.
You know who did have more left in their gas tank?
Who?
Adriana Rizzo. Rizzo versus Takeda and her thicker knee pads. I don't know what the fuck was up with that. Takeda hit Splash Waterfalls for the win, so Rizzo knocked the jiggle out of Takeda with a crowbar after the match.
I'm a spit Rizzo using the crowbar to beat up Nikita Lyons, because god damn it, someone in that family.
We're not entertaining that negativity. Listen, if you can't get a win, why not take a crowbar to the back of their head? Like, she jumped her in the parking lot. This wasn't about beating her in a match. This was about beating her down, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't have to get the W. She had to get revenge. We don't spit Chase. We don't spit the family around here. All right?
Didn't spit
for any reason.
I didn't spit.
You did spit.
I said I'm swallowing the fact that Adriana Rizzo used the crowbar to beat up Nikita Lyons.
You might want to go back and listen to what you said.
I might have misspoke. I said I think what I meant to say was I'm spitting the result of the match. because Adriana Rizzo.
Because that's not what you said.
Fair enough. But I'm over here like I was all for Adriana Rizzo because I was really pissed when she lost the match to Nikita Lyons. Because you know me, I don't really see the hype for Nikita Lyons. I don't get it, and I actually watch her matches, and it's not a Soruka situation. So when she used the crowbar, that's why I said
the
like,
hype for Nikita Lyons is almost all aesthetic, and it's not.
I'm not a fan of that aesthetic.
It's not a. I mean, the pins are nice or were nice when she was doing them. She ain't even doing those anymore.
I didn't care for them. I didn't care for her. But that's what I was saying. I'm glad someone in the family used that crowbar because Tony D'Angelo has been going away from using the crowbar, trying to prove that he doesn't need it. But god damn it, use that fucking crowbar. That's what it's for. So I'm swallowing the fact that Adriana Rizzo beat the shit out of Nikita Lyons afterwards.
And her thick ass knee pads.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay. Same page then. For the audio listeners, I did remove Vince from the call after I heard him say I'm spitting Rizzo using the crowbar.
Yeah, I think I meant to say I'm swallowing Rizzo using the crowbar, but I think I was trying to do two things at once, and it just came into like being its own completely different
in
thing.
Your mouth?
I did it me. Yeah, I meant to say I'm spitting the match results, but I'm swallowing Rizzo.
Oh, you tried to do two things at once in your mouth.
Anyway, I got the name of the driver, Matt, by the way.
Yeah, who is it?
Yeah, according to Uncle Dave, the name is Skylar Clinton, but he's going by but he's going by Nico Vance currently on NXT.
No idea. Last but not least, Fallon Henley defeats Kalani Jordan. Vince, you know why?
Why?
Because JC Jane is a fake ass bitch.
With help,
find a way.
Jasmine, because JC hit Kalani in the jaw with a stiff one. Kalani takes the L. Fallon retains, moves on to continue her North American Women's title run, which still allows Zarya versus Fallon.
Yes.
Line.
Although she did do a promo talking about the Iron Survivor, teasing that she's going to be in the Iron Survivor match. So we'll see. But you know what? I'm gonna swallow it just because the match was really good. I enjoyed it. I love Kalani Jordan. She's one of those people that when I see her on TV, I'm gonna pay attention to her matches because I genuinely want to see her wrestle. And I'm turning around to Reverse Cowgirl. Maybe it's because she actually
started watching her in-ring work and didn't just ignore her matches.
No, so I don't know. I guess I just didn't like. Maybe it was my underlying hate for Hangman Page and his cowboy gimmick that made me not give give Fallon Henley a shot because I'm like, oh, a cowboy gimmick. I don't really care.
That's what gimmickist would that
gimmick is
because you don't like one person's gimmick. Anyone that has a similar gimmick, you don't like that's the gimmick version of racism, Vince. I don't like one person that has a cowboy gimmick, so I hate all cowboy gimmicks.
That's a new name you just created, but no, it's just I don't know. I just didn't really care for the whole cowgirl thing, and then now she's more of a heel, so I try to ignore the cowgirl aesthetic stuff. Like,
is cowgirl not one of your favorite positions?
Not necessarily. Like, it's fine. It's okay. Reverse cowgirl is better though.
I agree.
Which is probably why I'm turning around.
Fallon's reverse cowgirl. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
exactly. She turned heel.
Exactly. I don't know. She just looks really good with the North American Women's Championship. It just kind of like goes with her, and it's like, you know what? I'll give her a chance.
All right.
But yeah,
anything from NXT?
No, that was everything. Women main eventing. That's two days in a row. Main eventing. So
2 days in a row.
That's gotta be a swallow.
AEW Dynamite. Mercedes talks shit and gets caught. Kris blows the brick house down as she puts both women through a wall. Spit or swallow?
Come on. That's got to be a swallow. Kris Statlander putting another woman through a wall, and then all you see is cake. Yeah, 2 women. And after you just crazy. That's a crazy setup. Like, it's so over the top, but I fucking love it. It's a swallow.
Yeah. Apparently, Kyle Fletcher is an unappreciative prick. Will Ospreay is a selfish douche. They're going to fight at Full Gear. And all I'm asking is, where is the leader of the United Empire when we need him? Where is the Great Okan to fix the issues that are happening in his faction? Archer and Cage show up for Fletcher, so Hobbs and a less homeless-looking Mark Davis both show up to back up Will Ospreay. So we got double Willie, Will Hobbs, and Will Ospreay.
Okay.
And then a less homeless-looking Mark. Like, it looks like he found a house, or at least an apartment to live in. Good for you, Mark Davis.
Or at least a nice box. At least a nice little box or something.
Everyone kind of leaves, so Archer can falls count anywhere Roderick Strong. Strong makes Archer a power bottom as he pins him. And then, so everyone was calling this, what the fuck were they saying? Something Heyman. It was something about Heyman, how the way Paul Heyman would produce ECW TV is you would have a segment that led into a match that would end into a segment that led into a match, and it would the Heyman flow. Maybe I don't remember what I saw them calling it, but they were talking about that. So this happens here because Strong yells for MJF to go fuck himself. Takeshita jumps Strong, and then we roll right into Adam Cole versus Takeshita. Cole still looks like he has jaundice. He never got a ring from Britt, but he did get one from Takeshita. Roddy tried to. Roddy tried to hit it from the back and fails. Kyle O'Reilly has to make the save. Ricky also is here. He shows up at Takeshita, leaves with Takeshita's belt. A lot of shit, but it was the flow. Most important things. Double Willies. And
spitting anything that has to do with Kyle Fletcher or Will Ospreay. I didn't like any of that. I'm gonna gargle the Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly stuff.
Okay.
Just because I'm kind of curious to see if it goes into.
Are you just happy Adam Cole finally got that ring?
Listen, I just want good things. I just want good things for Adam. That's all I want. It's good things for Adam.
Speaking of Britt, I watched Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, how was it?
It's good. I mean, she shows up. She plays a Russian martial arts female coach.
Okay, how's her Russian?
But it's Cobra Kai, so like you're not really expecting really good acting or accents or anything like that.
All right.
But she did get in there. She did do some fighting, and that was fun. She put like rock bottom someone through a table, kind of.
Nice.
Uranagi. Really, it was more of a Uranagi. Uranagi'd someone through a table.
Like unless she did the whole like thing where she falls with them.
No, it was Uranagi.
Katie having Friendsgiving with friends, and we're not friends enough for her in her facility, so we can't attend. So we're here.
Why are there only wieners on my screen? Probably because of the algorithm.
The algorithm. Okay. Yeah, you were saying, Brett?
I also want to address something about Lance Archer real quick, because again, he took the L, and I saw some people advocating for. Listen, Lance Archer, outside of winning the ICUP North American whatever, from Jon Moxley, all he's done has been built up as a monster, and not really built up in like he's going out and he's getting a shit ton of wins. Just like he's a monster and he shows up and he throws people around backstage to take an L. He's basically the one-man Butcher and Blade, because they were these assassins, these hired henchmen who were supposed to take people out and then would just show up to get their ass beat. That's all he's there for. That's all
Honestly,
he is.
yeah. I've never really cared about Lance Archer at all. He character wise, like the best thing he did was being in a tag team in New Japan, and even then I didn't really care too much about him. I don't know. He just seems very bland to me. I don't really care about anything he does.
Stone Cold Steve Cincinnati and his Death Riders do not believe in consent. They are like, we are going to do whatever I want. We don't care if you say yes or no, if you like it or not. We're just going to do it. And that is, well, I mean, that is what America stands for now, but that's not what America's supposed to stand for. All right. It's really not. And it's kind of sad that we're here. They got jumped by Darby, OC, Rocky Romero, and Briscoe. Death Riders try to leave. Death Riders try to leave Yuta for dead, but Darby hitchhikes in the back of the bed of the pickup truck. Claudio hops out, pounds Darby. Death Riders ride away. Yuta ended up making it into the back of the truck this time, so they didn't leave him behind, but they damn sure were going to, because they don't really give a fuck about Yuta, and I think Yuta knows it.
Why is he with them? If he they don't give a fuck about you, dog. Like, why are you there?
Because the only other option was Daniel Bryan, and he's not here anymore. So, like,
go live on the farm, on the acre farm go make vegan burgers. Be a babysitter for Birdie. I don't know, man. Anything would be better than just being like the Death Riders bitches. Because that's what he is. He's like the little bitch to the Death Riders. They were gonna leave him behind. It was if Darby didn't jump into the back of the pickup to stop it, they were still gonna drive away. And then Yuta jumped into it. It's like, go, we're good, bro. They were gonna leave whether you were there or not, dude. Yuta makes Asian men look bad.
Yeah, but Takeshita fixes it, so you're all right.
Yeah, it balances it out a bit. I'm a gargle it. Like, I still kind of have to wait and see. I'm interested in the match between Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley. I'm mostly just kind of curious because I want to see what's inside the briefcase. I know it's a championship. Maybe it's a new design title. I don't really know what it is, but it's just my curiosity that's just getting to me mostly. And also, too, it's a gargle because I can't outright spit it or swallow it. But a great moment was when Mox was on the mic and the fan goes, "Go back to Roman." And he stayed in character. He didn't break whatsoever. Kudos to him. But I died inside laughing when I heard it.
Can I get nerdy on you for a second?
Go for it.
So this whole thing kind of reminds me of One Punch Man, and Orange Cassidy and the Orange Punch is One Punch Man. So I've always said that the way I viewed Orange Cassidy's character up until recently, up until he won that title, the first title, was that he was such a good in-ring competitor that he didn't have to try. That's why he was so laid back and cool and didn't care, because there wasn't a challenge. And it took him being challenged to pull his hands out of his pockets and actually go. And that's what I loved about him. I'm like, this is fucking great. You are so cocky and confident that you wear sunglasses, and you keep your hands in your pockets because you know you can beat everyone and you don't have to try. And now we're at the point to where the company that kind of gave him his start, that he yes, Matt referencing One Punch Man. We've got to the point to where now everything that he holds dear and cares about has been taken from him. The best friends are no more, so on and so forth. And Jon Moxley is trying to demolish the remnants of the company that, you know, he got his big push in, his not his start because he was on the indies, but like mainstream start in. And he is the last man standing, the last sole survivor. And the fact that he's always been good enough, he's just never really put forth the effort to care enough to go there.
Right.
So like that I'm actually really interested in.
That part,
especially if he wins with one punch. Because that's all it takes is one punch.
Yeah.
An orange punch.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, and that's the part of the whole storyline that I am kind of curious about. I just really don't care about the Death Riders all that much. Like they're fine. It was fine when they first started doing it, but right now it just, I don't know. It just kind of feels like the pussy fur collectors, and they're not really collecting a lot, either pussy or fur or wins or anything like that.
I mean, Jon Moxley's world champion, so
technically,
he tried to murder Daniel Bryan repeatedly with a plastic bag.
Okay, fine. Maybe they're just a notch above the pussy fur collectors, but not by a lot. Not by a lot.
I mean, you also haven't really been watching AEW either.
Well, it also kind of hurts them in my eyes because there's another faction they just debuted recently, almost around the same time as them, that are a lot more interesting. Say what?
That you give way more of a shit about.
Yeah, I'm way more interested in the other faction.
I get that. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I love the Death Riders.
Mm-hmm.
I like Stone Cold Steve in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I like
Claudio.
I don't really give a fuck about Claudio in AEW. I don't. It was cool that he was Ring of Honor champion so that he could say that he was a world champion finally, but like I don't give a fuck about Ring of Honor. I don't give a fuck about their championship. Claudio isn't doing anything for me where I'm like, oh yes, Claudio, because you know me, I'm a promo story, blah, blah, blah guy. I'm not like, whereas apparently you only care about wrestlers once you've seen what they can do in the ring. I care about wrestlers despite what they can do in the ring.
So for me, it's like the initial presentation. That's a first impressions for me. And if the first impression is enough for me to care about your match, then I start caring about your in-ring work. And if it's a full package deal, then sure. And like I said, like with Fallon Henley initially and even Sol Ruka, the initial first impression I was not necessarily a fan of, so it led me to not caring about their matches.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it goes.
But anyway, Death Riders as a whole, I like Stone Cold Steve Cincinnati. We have our obligatory Chris Jericho spit. He shows up, we spit.
Yeah, spit all the time.
Penelope Ford is a Ferrari, ladies and gentlemen. Britt Baker's a Pontiac G6. Penelope humped the back of Britt's head in the ropes and then licked her face. Britt fingers Penelope's mouth for the win. Serena Serena Deeb got jealous and wanted to get her mouth fingered as well, so she says she's next.
Yeah.
Penelope Ford has been on Dynamite the last 2 weeks, wrestling her ass off for someone who has been here since the beginning of AEW and outside of a couple tag matches with Anna Jay, really hasn't been given much. So shout out to her for making the most of her time.
Yeah.
Britt Baker, keep doing Cobra Kai. I could give two shits about you on my wrestling screen at this point.
Honestly, I don't know.
If you given Adam that ring, we'd be having a different conversation. But no.
Listen, you break Adam Cole's heart, I don't give a fuck about you. You're dead to me. That's kind of where it is. I side with Adam Cole. I side with Chugs.
I side with Jaundice Cole. We go tit for tit. Mina gets challenged by Harley Cameron for a match on Collision. Then they have a little shake-off, which I'm not going to lie to you, Vince.
Yeah.
This is the entire reason I sat down and watched Collision tonight before this show.
I
have never
saw the segment, I'm like, Matt's going to watch that match just because of the build-up and the setup that they did on Dynamite.
I have never been more sold on anything AEW than I was. Harley Cameron is... We lost Tony. Tony's off doing whatever Tony's doing. Tony was my favorite thing. Harley Cameron is filling that slot so easily. She is fucking hilarious. She is fantastic. I saw tonight, which I'll get to, but she's improved so much. She can go in the ring for someone who's been doing it as short of a time as she has. She's killing it right now. Personality-wise, dude, she cracks me the fuck up. Then you have Mina Shirakawa, who is also fantastic and fun and engaging. And then they're both fucking just shaking it. Like, come on.
Then Renee's trying to stop it. And then even it's like, stop. And then Mina's still like,
they still just do it. Yep.
They're still just fucking Harley. She's like, Mina, I heard you're the Harley Cameron of Japan. Well, I'm the Harley Cameron of Harley Cameron. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean?
It means she's fantastic. That's what it means.
She's funny for sure.
Speaking of fantastic, Jamie Hayter has an interview that gets cut off by another awesome Julia Hart horror movie vignette. I'm loving this stuff that they're doing for Julia Hart, and I'm excited for her to come back.
Cinematically,
again,
it's fantastic.
The only thing that's got me invested in professional wrestling is the women.
Are we really surprised?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Brody and Malachi fuck the Revival and get a shot at the tag champs.
Oh man, I like how you put that. That was very creative.
FTR, fuck the Revival. Kings of the Black Throne advancing into whatever weird tag team title 4-way fuckfest that they have going on.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna swallow it too, just because House of Black, Kings of Black Throne, getting that tag win, advancing, they should get those tag titles. Like, give Malachi more shit, man. Like, I'm glad that they're hyping up Julia, but let's not forget about the boys either.
Anything from AEW I didn't talk about that you want to hit on?
No, you hit all the points. Oh, wait, no. Hurt Syndicate. Swallowing everything Hurt Syndicate and Swerve. That was great. I loved it. What?
I'm not there yet.
What do you mean? Like, you didn't watch it, or you're not feeling it?
No, I'm not feeling it yet. Like, we'll see.
So, not only am I swallowing that, because they did the backstage interview, and I like what they did there. Then you had Swerve against Leo Rush. After the match, he calls out Bobby Lashley. And they actually get into it. Shelton Benjamin jumps from behind. They attack him, gangbang him, as he likes to put it. Even Nana got choked out without his consent. We don't approve that, but it is what it is. Hurt Syndicate putting the hurt on Swerve. I like it. They're setting up this match. And this is what, Stone Cold Steve Cincinnati should be doing, going after one of the top guys instead of the mid-card dudes. Like, Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate are going after one of their top guys in Swerve.
He beat the guy that beat Swerve and killed him and sent him to retirement.
Yeah, but since then, what has he done?
There's no one else.
Go after someone else. I don't.
That's their problem. There's no one else. There's the next top guy up that isn't Swerve is Orange Cassidy.
Should be Will Ospreay. They should be doing something with Will.
Will is busy. All right.
Will needs to get his stuff in order.
And this is all the Great O'Con's fault. If the Great O'Con would just come and fix this,
you are casting blame on the Great O'Con. This is above his pay grade. It's not his fault.
And listen, as the leader, it is never above your pay grade to fix the squabbles of, like, if you and Katie are fighting, I'm going to step in and I'm going to heal the issues if you and Katie start fighting. Like, it is what it is.
They both, Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay, at some point in time joined the Don Callis family, therefore leaving United Empire or United.
I don't think they left.
I think they did. I think they're no longer part of that, which means it's no longer the Great O'Con's concern. You leave. You guys want to go ahead and have your own little bitch fits elsewhere? Go ahead and do that. That's my take. That's the way I'm perceiving things.
I made it clear that I watched SmackDown on delay because of the other fixed fight that I wanted to watch that did not go the way I wanted it to.
Correct.
But I did put it on for Zoe, and as I'm watching the boxing matches, Zoe's like, "Daddy, Cody Rhodes from her room." She was all excited. So Cody Rhodes demands Kevin's presence, but instead he gets Kevin's pimp, Nick Aldis. Kevin is apparently banned for unnecessary roughness, and Cody is annoyed because he likes it rough, and he doesn't want to wait to get rough with Kevin. Kevin is also not happy that he is banned from the arena because he drove all the way out to the arena, and now they won't let him in, and this is some bullshit.
Honestly, that is some bullshit, because if you're not allowed, look, again,
are they paying him? Apparently he drives a Penelope Ford, or no, they said a Lamborghini, not a Ferrari. Apparently,
But it was a
KO.
Ferrari.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a Lambo. I'm pretty sure Cody said that Kevin Owens drives a Lambo, which like Kevin Owens doesn't strike me as a Lambo kind of guy. So
no, but I did find it funny because then he claps back. I don't know if he did it on Twitter or where, but he's like, I think it's funny how I'm being bullied for the car I drive when the guy that's talking about my car drives a fucking bus to the arena. So, listen, I will say,
does
like,
he drive the bus or does he have a driver? I think
he has a driver. He doesn't even drive the bus. He has a bed in the bus. He goes and claps cheeks in the bus. He doesn't even have to worry about anything. So my whole thing with Kevin, it's like I'm kind of with him in the sense where I'm just like, bro, if I was going to be allowed in the arena, why don't you let me know? You had a whole week to let me know, and you telling me until I show up there? That's a waste of my gas money. If he really is driving the Lamborghini, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of gas money, and the gas prices aren't going down anytime soon.
It's a Lambo.
It's a Lambo. I like Lambos.
I agree. We had two Dos Women's United States Championship Menage a Trois. In the first one, BBL Bailey backs that ass up for a win. Shout out to B Fab because she looked fantastic. She was putting in some fucking work.
We had one.
Oh no, wait. Yeah, no. Naomi's in a qualifier and also was in the main event, and that's why my brain did that. Because I should have known when she was in the qualifier for the United States title, she wasn't going to win the main event, so that was stupid to even announce.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. My mind went the same way after the match. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Once she kicked out of kicked out of Naomi's review and then kicked out of the split like moonsault, and I'm like, damn, Nia's kicking out of everything. I thought Naomi was going to win. And then I thought about it. I'm like, no, she's in the qualifier. She's not winning this fucking title. So, but they had me in the match in the moment.
We'll get back to that. B-Fab putting in some work. Looked really good out there again. Shout out to B-Fab. Had a hell of I mean, she was in there against BBL Bailey.
Candice.
And Candice. So, like, two incredible dance partners as well.
Yeah.
But, like, you can still have two good dance partners. We've seen people wrestle some of the best women on the roster and still shit the bed. So, like, shout out to B-Fab. Chelsea fantastic. And Piper taunt B-Fab for losing, and she points out the fact that, hey, just so you two know, while you're worried about me not getting my win, if you both win, you're going to have to fight each other. So maybe you guys should figure out how the fuck that's going to go and let me handle my own business. Michin shows up, scares them off with her giant toy. Good shit.
It's pretty big. Yeah, swallow all of that. Love everything between the women, the women's triple threat match. I am gonna spit tentatively Bailey being the winner of that, and that's mostly because I wanted Candice to win. However, she does end up putting someone over in the tournaments, even if it isn't the main events. I think it would be in good justice. Cheap plug. Katie and I did 2 videos, 6 women who should win the U.S. title, 6 women who should not. You can check those out on our respective YouTube channels. And one of the people, not to spoil things, was Bailey. Bailey, we didn't think should win that U.S. title. I don't think she needs it. And so I'm going to spit her winning, but it's tentatively assuming she doesn't win the title.
Okay. There are 2 horror movies that Katie and I are talking about watching. One is American Werewolf in London. The other is American Werewolf in Paris. On Friday, we had Mexican Werewolf in Wisconsin. Bert scratched and clawed, but could not transform that into a win. Great match. LA Knight gets dropped by a returning Japanese crow, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed all that. It was good shit. And shout out to Bert.
Yeah, Berto did his thing. He kind of like stepped up.
Poor Ernie's stuck on the sidelines, but maybe Ernie gets a shot next week.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a situation where he puts the title on the line against every member of Legado except for Santos.
Paquete de Lobos.
Paquete de Lobos, correct. I'm sorry. I misspoke. But yeah, I'm going to swallow it, and it's mostly just because LA Knight got his ass rocked by returning Shinsuke at the end. If it wasn't for that, it would be a spit for me.
All right. Just when it looks like the OTC abused all the prostitutes and no one wants to work with them, Solo and friends introduced their fifth, Thick Boy Taz. Roman may have got beat down, but clearly he has gotten one thing he needed to get Seth to join Roman's harem again, and that is Thick Boy Taz joining the other side. So clearly we know where this is going. Seth is their fifth because Thick Boy Taz is with, but like he fits that group. He really does.
So much, especially when they were in the ring together, both Jacob Fatu and Thick Boy Taz. I was like, God damn it. Imagine if they were a tag team. I'd be shitting bricks.
I wanted Hickey Licker, as I used to call him. That's what I wanted. I don't know what the fuck we're doing with him or where the fuck he's at, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But this is where we're going. It is what it is. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm not over the moon. I also mentioned that Roman called Paul and the number is no longer in service because he now works for Gunther and does not accept calls from Samoans anymore.
I'm gonna swallow everything. I thought everything was all well executed, especially the parts how it started off with Sammy and the Usos saying that Roman wants to talk game plan together. Once he arrives, he shows up. They got to give him the bad news that they haven't found the fifth. And then while they're having their conversation, their TV turns on, and it's the Solo bloodline making their way to the ring. They come out, so it all interweaves in this all one connected story narrative on SmackDown. And then you closed off the show with Roman trying to dial Paul Heyman, getting this number is not in service notification. I thought it was well executed. I thought it was very well done, and I like it. And like you said, it does very much seem like Seth is going to be the dude that's going to be the fifth man. If not, who knows who it could be? But I'm glad I'm just glad it's not Cody, because I didn't want it to be Cody. Because then if it was Cody, there were people saying that Kevin was going to be on Team Solo, but that makes no sense.
That was me.
Oh, well, that makes no sense, man. That made no sense.
Some psycho killed the tag team title match, put his tag partner on his ass. Looked like heel Street Profits are here as Dawkins tells Detroit Gun Club to get fucked after they try and show some love after the match.
I'm gonna swallow mostly just because we got Psycho Killer Ciampa back.
Yeah, no, we're swallowing.
It was really
Tommaso
cool to
Ciampa
see. Yeah,
and heel Street Profits who were like, "Fuck Motor City Machine Guns,
dude." Yes, like the intensity, the energy, the no fucks given from Street Profits. I love it. I love it. Everything that I didn't see in the NXT men's tag team division, I'm seeing on the SmackDown tag team division for the men's. So I like it.
And last but not least, we already kind of talked about it. It is a bad night for the big three. Naomi gets her face sat on by Nia Jax after trying to get Nia to eat her ass, but Nia kicks out. Takes the L in the title match thanks to help from Candice and Tiffany. Liv and Spanish Rachel take out the tag champs backstage during the match.
I'm gonna swallow it just because the match was really good. The match had me at the edge of my seat. There were points where I'm like, holy shit, Naomi's gonna win the title here. And despite all the shenanigans from cross-brand stuff, I still liked it. And then also, women main evented again on the three brands of WWE programming. So not only did they main event Raw, they main evented NXT, and they main evented SmackDown. And if I'm not mistaken, the first matches for each show were also a women match. So shout out to WWE for putting women where they deserve in the main event.
Anything from SmackDown that wasn't good enough for Ritter?
No, I think you covered everything, man. Honestly.
Right. I told you I watched Collision, so I got two things from Collision. One, the opening match, exactly what the fuck we talked about. We opened the show, and listen, if they do this every week, I will watch Collision every week. We opened with Mina Shirakawa and Harley Cameron going tit for tit, jiggle for jiggle. We talked about how much I love Harley Cameron. She is a joy. Mina Shirakawa got the win. It was a good time. I had fun. Mm-hmm. Harley Cameron lost and was walking up the rampway, and she was still shaking it while like crying because she lost. Dude, fucking fantastic. And then I didn't stick around for the main event, which I believe was a promo from Jon Moxley. So the main event, in my eyes, making this 4 for 4, was the women's title match, rubber match, Anna Jay versus Mariah May, and they got hardcore. They were using toys on each other. They're breaking furniture. Anna big spoons Mariah with barbed wire. Mariah squirts in Anna's eyes and then sits on her head for the win. Mina comes down to celebrate with Mariah. Mariah quickly kicks Anna out of the way, and Mina's like, hey, calm down. Like, we don't need to do all that. Plus, we're supposed to get at Full Gear the Mina Shirakawa Mariah May champagne celebration that I have been promised. I might buy Full Gear just for that alone.
Oh, man. Didn't you learn anything from the Mike Tyson Paul fight?
Listen, I have not learned anything. I still every now and then check fucking Dana Brooks' fan time to see if she's actually posting anything worthwhile there. She's still not. And I have not learned anything from the lies. I still have hope. You know, we're on pay-per-view.
Listen, I guess, man, someone has to. And to answer your question, to go back to it, yes, Moxley might have been the closing promo, but the main event match was still the women, so that counts. So 4 out of the 5 programs from the 2 main companies had women main events. Dynamite was the only one that dropped the ball.
Yeah, and like I said, I came down here for the show, so I didn't catch Moxley's promo. But 2 things that I gave a fuck about that happened on the show were the 2 women's matches. And if you give me 2 women's matches like this every week, it doesn't have to be these 4 women specifically, but 2 women's matches like this every week. We open the show with a great women's opener that's fun, and then we end or near the end of the show put on another really good women's match and give them time. You'll have me watching Collision every week because, again, the reason I watch wrestling in 2024 going into 2025 is mostly for women's wrestling.
Facts.
Like
Facts.
85%. Vince, is there anything from anything, you know, did anything happen in like CMLL or NWA or NJPW?
No, we got everything covered.
All right. Well, what was your favorite show you watched this week?
I'm gonna give it a SmackDown just because Jesus was there.
Okay, you're gonna give it to SmackDown because Jesus was there. I took the most notes for Dynamite, surprisingly, I think. However, recency bias, because I just watched it tonight and it was 4 amazing women.
Okay.
Opening and closing the show, and I'm not allowed to say that I had sex in the middle of those 2 matches because my wife said I'm not allowed to say that on air anymore. So I'm not going to say that. But I'm going to say that Collision was my favorite show this week.
You have your reasons. Okay, I see the motivation. Okay, fair enough.
All right. We've talked about a little bit. Twitter does not exist for me anymore. Vince, you're still kind of on there for now?
Currently I'm still there until I migrate more of my stuff on there. So yeah, you can still follow me on Twitter at SESVince, Instagram, everywhere else. Follow me on Blue Sky at SESVince, but I mostly encourage everyone to follow me at 606 Universe, spell out the first 6, on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, everywhere in between. Check out the YouTube, like I said, did a top 6 video. Yes. Okay, yeah, Travis in the chat. But yeah, follow me. Check out the YouTube channel. Me and Katie collaborated on a really cool video, and check out her channel as well over at Chili Showcase on YouTube and at 606 Universe for my YouTube videos. So check both of those out. That's what I'm encouraging people to do.
And you guys can follow me everywhere at Smackin It Raw. Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, and TikTok. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you missed it, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, Getting Off, M. Night Shyamalan, Matt, Katie, TC, Reek, Will, and Just. We have a list of 11 M. Night Shyamalan movies in horror-adjacent genre that we are going to rank individually and then make a master rank via the panel from best to worst. So come check that out. Come talk M. Night Shyamalan with us tomorrow because that is what you guys voted on as our panel topic for the month. You guys, again, follow me on all those places and everything at Creation World at It's Creation World, except Blue Sky. Blue Sky is just Creation World. But you can follow all of our social media there. Check out creationworld.com, facebook.com/creationworld, facebook.com/group/Smackin It Raw. If you love us talking wrestling, you want to go join a non-toxic wrestling Facebook group where you can just enjoy pro wrestling. Come there and check out memes and discussions and have some fun there as well. And if you love dragons or Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, facebook.com/group/themdragons is up and running and there. So come check us out there as well. You look like you got something you want to say before we go.
No. I'm good.
Okay. Well, Vince, it was nice spending time with you, just the two of us.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope the insecurity that we talked about earlier on in the episode has been a little bit healed now that it's just been the two of us. For Daddy Delgado, I am the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and this has been your #1 wrestling podcast, formerly on Pornhub.